I'd like to call to order the regular town commission meeting of January the 9th. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Mayor Tompeck,
Here.
Vice Mayor Fender,
Here.
Commissioner Kurzman,
Yes.
Commissioner Mayfield.
Here.
Okay, we have no proclamations or presentations. We do have a couple of public comments. First one is Marsh Carlisle. Please come up to the podium.
I think Mr. Dancy answered my question, so I don't need to do that.
Okay, thank you. And Chuck Farrow.
Mr. Daniels did not answer my question. I have no question. And the greatest trick that Santa Claus ever pulled was to show that he didn't exist, but the people I wanted to thank aren't even here. I wanted to talk about Christmas Eve and Santa Claus arriving in a pickup truck and a police escort. And I wanted to thank everyone involved in that event. It's been a long time since we've had that occur on Sewall's Point. My wife and I have been here 35 years, and we did it on a routine basis, as I recall, when our kids were small. So it's been quite some time since that's happened, but it was just as thrilling, even though we are in our golden years, as it was when we were much younger.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a nice tradition, and the chief was the emphasis behind it. So I will make sure that I relay that. She's not here tonight because she's under the weather.
Right.
So,
Okay. I really should have brought my tools. Anyway, I want to thank you all for supporting the staff. It was really wonderful to see. It was quite impressive. And thank you for your support.
Thank you. Okay, are there any additions, deletions, or changes to the agenda? If not, a motion to approve the agenda?
So move.
Please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Fender,
Aye.
Commissioner Kurzman,
Yes.
Commissioner Mayfield,
Yes.
Mayor Tompeck.
Yes, that brings us down to the consent agenda. Any questions or comments on the consent agenda? Or is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I had a question or a comment.
Okay, which item?
On the consent agenda, I just wanted to say that I had asked the town manager and the finance director about the financials because we hadn't seen them in a little while, and so they're going to be on the next meeting because she was sick. So I thought if I was wondering, maybe other people were too. So
Thanks
Okay.
for that. I'll move to approve as presented.
I'll second.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Kurzman,
Yes.
Commissioner Mayfield,
Yes.
Mayor Tompeck,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Fender.
Yes.
Okay, we have no public hearings for ordinances, no resolutions. So that brings us to old business, Southby's Realty International Marketing Update. Mr. Daniels, you have a lead-in?
no, I'm just going to turn the ball over to our competent real estate contractual services person.
Thank you. Thank you. And, you know, again, I concur, just comment how wonderful this town is. I also really enjoyed for my first time Santa Claus and filmed it. That was amazing. Marketing, we are doing everything to market as we had promised in our presentation. We're reaching out to our Sotheby's network. We are reaching out to builders. The holidays were quiet. And I think probably most of you got my flyer in the mail, and that was really tailored to this market. So
Did it only go to Sewell's Point?
that particular piece just went to Sewell's Point, correct? Because it was tailored to this. You know, I described, you know, why build a beautiful house here. I think everybody knows why, you know, about Sewell's Point. So I didn't do the standard language. So email campaigns, snow mail campaigns, phone calls, and just bear with us. I don't know if you had any comments on the material that I submitted. I'm happy to edit and improve upon it.
What's the next step in terms of marketing?
The next really step, I want to reach out to, I know a lot of builders and architects, so I want to be reaching out to them more personally with the brochures. And that's that one, I think, the person-to-person phone calls and follow-up and with the builders.
Okay.
That's primarily. I haven't decided yet to advertise. And then the other big part of it is more personal contact with some of the Sotheby's agents that I know personally in South Florida.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's, any benefit to advertising in, for instance, Palm Beach County or,
Absolutely.
and Indian River County or St. Lucie County,
Absolutely. They need to know more about this opportunity. Correct. Yeah.
and that'll be coming up in the not-too-distant future.
Absolutely. No, I'm working, it was the holidays and working now on reaching out. So I'll put together something for purposes of advertising. Advertising, you mean in publications or?
Well, I'm not the expert. so
Okay, no, because what we do is we do have offices in all of those points, in all of those locations. So we do reach out to other members of our network. So we do that, and I, not advertising, but calling and emailing and snow mail to a lot of the builders that I personally know, and then the ones that I don't know as well.
Okay.
And I think one of the other things that I might do is, when I am reaching, everything's tailored differently to builders. I know what it costs to build a house, having done so I just would like to present kind of a Excel sheet of, do this, and this will sell for this more or less will be your margin. So I'll create something like that.
Commissioner Mayfield?
Yeah, I just had a quick question. This nice little pamphlet you have here in our agenda, is this on your website? Because I know the one we got in the mail was specific for Sewell's Point, and it has a little bit of this information, but is this whole thing found on your website?
Yeah,
or is
I need to continue to work on it, but yarabashur.com/7 Heritage Way.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good, thank you.
Any other questions? I don't know, you said, is there a motion necessary to approve the marketing plan? I don't necessarily think so unless,
No,
okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
I just wanted an update for the commission.
Thank you.
All right, the next item is new business and the Charter Committee review update. Mr. Daniels?
Yes, since we're out of the holidays and I proposed the committee that's in front of you on the memorandum of H.B. Barrett, Frank Tidicus, Stephanie Nemi, and Dr. Chuck Farrow as the committee members. I have gone over the charter with our assistant town attorney this evening, and I think these are all doable dates because there's not really a lot of information. It's in our charter. A lot of it was previous to what they call 166, which is legislation that basically took away more of the powers that we have as a municipality. And so it took away some of the provisions that were existing in the charter I think that was 75, was it? 76? I forget the date.
The previous charter was 2006.
Yeah, but with the one, when they did the
166
change,
it enumerated powers, took away powers, and also it also indicated that certain provisions should be contained in the Code of Ordinances. So
Right.
as a result of that, the charter, the 2006 charter revisions were published. The editors took out things that were nullified by 166, or subsequent to that, when 166 was passed. Took out provisions that were nullified by 166. They moved things to the Code of Ordinances because 166 says that's what you're supposed to do. That's why a lot of the things that were originally in the charter have been edited out by Muni Code.
so I think what, the committee would have, the direction that I'm looking at giving them is, let's go through and streamline what's there instead of having 4 pages of saying, editor's notes that 166 caused this to be deleted. We just go through and we deal with, a charter that you can read and go through, and then look at whatever changes that they recommend as being residents, and agree upon that are necessary to bring back to this body. And I'm planning on that to occur on the meeting of March the 12th. So it'll come back to you, and we have enough time to you all to decide. Obviously, you'll know in the agenda packet where they're at, and probably even sooner as a committee. And then you have the final say on what changes you might want. There might be other things that come to light that you all might want to change as a body. And then we put it in the legalese format if you all approve of those changes, and then it goes to the supervisor of elections in June. So it's kind of the rough outline of it.
Vice Mayor Fender.
So just a couple of clarifying questions, just taking the comments you're saying about this past, what'd you call it, 166?
Yeah,
from the state?
it's a Florida state statute,
Yeah.
166.
I went through the last charter revisions many years ago, and it was almost a non-issue. I mean, this concept didn't come up, which sounded like it predated that approval.
I believe so.
And so I wonder if, sometimes when we get ordinances that change, we get them with standard strike-through format. I would say if indeed you are modifying the charter because you believe that 166 has taken the teeth out of it, at least put the strike-through line items there, which theoretically had not been done in the past. That way we can see what's being removed. I get the editor's note concept, but I think it makes it a little wordier and harder to see. I mean, I think in my mind, we're taking a document that we treat as a charter and seemingly modifying it down, I guess would be the diplomatic term. I guess I would want to see the impact of, just like we've discussed in other ordinance impacts, the impact of leaving or striking a paragraph regardless of the state's position on it, right? Obviously, we can't be in conflict, but the question is how easily do you give away that power? And I guess I just want to spend some time understanding, seeing what the document looked like with the line item, with the scratch-throughs in it. And, so it's the same document we had before with redacts. And then go from there.
If I may, any changes that are recommended from, that this committee decides as a committee that they want to propose will be through strike-throughs. I can't go back because I don't have any of that language that they pulled out already. So, but anything new, we will definitely have the strike-throughs on it.
Well, that's really my question, is it was already pulled out previously before?
Oh, yeah, this is all done. We haven't done anything in reference to
Well,
this.
so my point is, if it's already been pulled out in the past, then that's already been codified and
Right.
people have agreed upon it. So I don't know that we actually need to see those changes. They were,
Right.
we
But
already
any
have an existing
concurrent,
document.
new changes that are going to be recommended, yes, you'll see the strike-through language, and then eventually the clear language once you accept it.
Okay.
Commissioner Mayfield?
Yeah, got a little sidetracked with that. The last charter review was when? You said that you were part of it? I know we've been told, I just forget.
Well, I wasn't here in 2006.
You said you were here for one, though?
I was
Do you know when that-
here for a discussion where we just said, let it.
Oh, so there was no actual review, it was just the
Right.
discussion of
There was a
reviewing?
discussion
Okay,
And a decision to
leave it,
not
okay.
review.
So the last real one was 2006, as far as you know?
It looks like there was something done, and there was an amendment anyway in 2008. Something happened. There was a
Okay.
referendum
Okay,
in 2008. I'm looking at section 3, the editorial notes.
okay, I was just curious. And Town Manager, when you were kind of talking about taking out some of the stuff in reference to what Vice Mayor was talking about, were you kind of talking about potentially just getting rid of like all these things that say Section 5, editor's note, see editor's
Correct.
note for the following, and the stuff that just does kind of
I think
Gunk it up
just
a little.
makes it look, the document makes the
I agree.
document more confusing and larger than it really is in reality.
I agree. All right, that's it.
Okay, and I guess these are these posted public meetings?
Yes.
Okay. And just curious, were these the only one, two, three, four, only four people that volunteered, or were there
Yes.
others that?
Well, there was one other one, but he wasn't qualified.
Okay. All right, so we can look forward to the first meeting on February the 6th at 4 PM.
I would like a vote, just approving the committee that's outlined, and then we will then post all of the meetings, so everybody knows in the future what what those dates are.
I'll make a motion, move it.
Commissioner Mayfield?
I was going to make a motion, so I'll second it.
Okay. Any other questions? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Mayfield,
Yes.
Mayor Tom Peck,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Fender,
Yes.
Commissioner Kurzman.
Yes.
All right, that brings us down to commission and staff closing comments. Mr. Daniels?
The only comment that I have, and I appreciate everybody dealing with my illness last week, and we have had some key members of staff that have gotten sick too, so that's why I kind of just more or less set up an update that, we all just need to take our universal precautions within our regular lives. But there was one issue that we dealt with is a fee structure for use of the commission chambers. Primarily, we were looking at after hours where we, for security purposes, we need to start having a staff member being here and to make sure that the place doesn't get trashed and so forth. And we do have private concern that has been utilizing the facility, every week on a particular day. And they've also submitted additional dates that they want in February. With being out, I wasn't able to put together a proposal for y'all, but I'm looking, just to give you an idea, and I get your train of thought, is I'm looking somewhere in the area of a $50 fee to use the facilities. Now, they use all of the audio-visual equipment and everything else, and then maybe taking a piece of that fee and putting it into a fund, so when we need to upgrade a camera or upgrade television or something, we have a fund that we can do it without having to pay for it. So it's not just to charge a fee, but, it's, as we talked about the carpet getting, stained, and so we got to pay to have somebody come in and clean the carpet. So it's just a fund that, would help pay for those costs that we have to incur to keep this equipment up to date. Okay. Well, I'll put that in writing for the next meeting, so you all have it ahead of time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That's it.
Down to commission comments. Commissioner Mayfield.
Yes, because I didn't know about this thing, and I've had a lot of people asking about the cell tower that appeared. I didn't know anything about what. I knew we had talked about one, and then I thought that died, and then all of a sudden there was the one by Benihana. What's the story on that?
Yeah, apparently it's in a DOT right-of-way, so they stopped construction of the one that was over on the south side of the street, and primarily because there were so many underground cables and pipes and everything else, and somehow they got DOT to allow them to put it up on the opposite side of the street. And it's a totally different structure than, I believe, than what was to go up there. The original one was supposed to be a 50-foot structure that was supposed to match, blend in with the trees. This kind of sits back on its own. So I haven't been able to reach anybody at DOT yet to find out what's going on, but I'll have a report for you at the next meeting.
Okay, and wasn't the other one only supposed to be Verizon or something? Am I making that up? Or
Mobile.
T-Mobile? Is this one?
Mobile.
Yeah, so what is this one?
T-Mobile.
Still, okay, so it's the same thing, they
Same
just
one.
did it suddenly on the other
On
side?
the other
Okay.
side.
Okay, any other commissioners? You know, I was, the other night I heard this noise outside my house, and I looked out the window, and there was a street sweeper going by my house, and I was trying to think why we need street sweepers, but it brought up another thing that I think is kind of a long-term thing for you to look at. You know, we'll be doing a budget again in another few months, and I think we're going to have a little bit tougher time because the price of a lot of things has gotten a lot more expensive. So I'm wondering if you could maybe start to brainstorm a little bit with your staff, areas where we might be able to save some money or eliminate things that we don't necessarily need.
Okay?
So I was hoping you could think about that and maybe get with us in April or May with some ideas, so as we go into the budget season, we have some things to think about and look at. Okay.
Yeah, it's-
You wish to speak?
Yes, the other thing I was going to mention, we have these private companies coming in that are utilities, and what they're doing is they're digging. And we had one, that our building inspector, Jack, came down, and they were actually putting dirt into our drains, the expensive project that we paid a few $1 million for. It's just, the people, they're just coming in, they gave no notice to the town till the night before, and they're butchering up the properties. They took a good chunk out of my landscape, but the one thing, it drives me nuts whenever I see dirt going into these drains after we paid all this money, and this is supposed to prevent flooding. And I would like them to contribute toward paying for our cleaning of these drains. Just from the dirt, they literally had a pile of dirt on top of the drain. I had to move it as soon as they started moving it, like unbelievably fast. And, you know, by the time they came, you could still see where the dirt was. And it just goes on to the stupidity and the ignorance of the people that they have coming in here. And after that, we're looking and we're inside the dirt that they put back over there and filled it in. Water bottles, metal rod, they just put all their trash in there and buried it. And this is the kind of people we have working around here, and I think something should be said, especially to the guy that has these employees, that we have their phone number, and this is unacceptable.
You know, I'm thinking that, you know, in those kind of cases, it'd be a great idea, Dave, just to give Jack a call, and he can see what's going on there and take care of it.
I was going to give him a call tomorrow. I was waiting for the holidays to pass. I wasn't
Okay. I guess your holiday's over, Jack. Okay, are there any other comments from the commission? Okay, there's no further business. That motion to adjourn? We're adjourned. Thank you.
Oh,
Okay, we beat our...